Hey YouTube, I'm Jacob Beach, the Prepper's Bunker Outdoors. I finally made it out to the Daniel Boone for a 48-hour survival trip where I'll be scouting the area out for our feature survival class with Mike Lowe. The trip out here was nice. Jimbo loved himself and had a great time. I discovered a very rare Tyrannosaurus Rex, a castle, and even a gas station that gives you a free donut with any gas purchase, which was pretty cool. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hike up to an area. I'm going to get my camp set up. I'm going to show you what I brought and talk to you about what we're going to do. Stick around and check it out. It's going to be an interesting 48 hours. As I hike up here, one of the coolest things that I notice is all of these fir trees here. So down in southern Kentucky, we don't get a lot of coniferous trees. Being from Washington State, I miss that. But since we're at the northern tip of the state and gaining in elevation so quickly, you start seeing entire forests of fir. And having coniferous trees around is really nice for survival situations because it burns better. I mean, there's a lot of different things that you can do with coniferous trees, from shelters to fires to whatever else. It's just really nice to have a lot of coniferous trees around. So I'm actually very, very excited to see this up here. I'll take that. I hope that you can hear that. I'm climbing in elevation because I was hoping to get away from the bugs that are just swarming me. But I hear running water down there. I'm hoping that this is a creek that is feeding into that stagnant lake down there. Stagnant water in the summer is never going to be enjoyable. But if there's decent running water down there, it could be better for fish traps and for my sanity and for water. So I think I'm going to head down there and see what I can't find. I need to get one of those dog backpacks so I can have Jimbo carry half of my stuff. Of course, half the crap out here is briars and vines. Fort Campbell, how I don't miss you. Check it out. I'm not exactly what you would call a leave no trace survivor or camper, but I am a leave no trash survivor. But this little guy is coming home with me. Here's what we have, guys. While everybody in this area is fishing and camping around a stagnant lake, just a little bit of a hike found this beautiful creek area here. And look at this rock. A lot of this rock is flat shale and stuff. Incredibly useful. This is a pretty cool spot. I'm gonna get ready to find a campsite. This might do. Come with me if you want to live. So here's what I've got. It's higher than I would normally do, but being that it's the summer, I want a little bit more room to breathe. get a fire pit right about here so that I can cook. I run into a few problems though. This tarp is not just cheap like Army lowest bidder cheap. It's cheap like the People's Republic of China Harbor Freight cheap. The last one that I had from them was a lot nicer, but this one, the eyelets are already ripping and everything like that, so I can't make the tarp as tight as I want without ripping the eyelets out if I only use the eyelet. So I put the support here. Now of course, that could be an even bigger problem because that's putting stress directly on one part of the tarp. So instead of having all of my stress on the eyelets or all of my stress on the tarp, I kind of evenly distributed it, which sounds good in theory, but in reality, instead of one part of the tarp failing in a bad storm, it would all fail and be unrepairable and be ruined, so it's probably not a good idea. I guess we'll see. I hope it doesn't rain too awfully bad. I gave myself a little bit of tarp to sleep on, which I do not normally do. I folded the top of it over there so that that wouldn't just collect water from rain to bring it in. If the weather does start getting bad, what I'll do is I'm going to make a couple more stakes and get these edges tight so that I don't have to worry about that. You'll see from when I was tying the stakes, you want to get the notch that your stakes are on as low as possible to the ground so that you have maximum strength, especially with questionable wood like I'm using here. So what could happen if this is not tight enough in a bad rainstorm is water can follow this edge all the way down, come to here, and then funnel through here into my sleeping area. I'm not going to worry about that right now. I've got the basics done. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to lay out everything that I brought to show you guys. So my primary purpose out here is fourfold. First, I wanted to find a good area for the survival class with Mike Lowe in October, which I've already mentioned. Second, I want to get dirt time with the Dry Creek Forge custom knife that I have with the Posmade Leathercraft Battle Buddy sheath system that comes with it. So I'm going to be focusing on that quite a bit. Also, I want dirt time with the Hidden Woodsman Classic Ruck, as well as the Council Tool Pack Axe and Copperhead Outdoors Kydex mask setup. So those are the three main product groups that I'm looking at to review while I'm out here. Secondary reviews are going to include the Sawyer permethrin that I've treated a lot of my stuff with, the VZ 1911 grips, and the heavy cover spoon and fork titanium spork kit multi-tool. That thing is sweet. So all of that's going to be ahead. Stick around and I'm going to continue to get to work. It's very easy to find trash almost anywhere you go in the world today. Of course, this has a lot of downsides, but as you know, I did not bring water on this trip, and a common water bottle like this has so many uses. I'm cleaning this up. I'm going to simply use this to carry water, and I'm going to use my little water filtration straw to drink out of it. But you can actually boil water in a plastic water bottle to drink in an emergency. So, and you can use these for little fish traps, crawdad traps, all manner of things. So if you're out in a survival situation, don't pass trash up. You're never too good of a bushcrafter or woodsman to pass up a good piece of man-made materials when they present themselves. So I'll show you what I brought. Obviously, I brought a tarp, paracord, the Council Pack Axe. Love this thing. The Copperhead Outdoors Pack Axe Kydex sheath. Love it. Bug spray. I know that bug spray is kind of cheating on a survival trip, but I do have to go back to work in a couple of days, and on my last trip I had over 100 bites, and I'm just not interested in that again. The Hidden Woodsman Possibles pouch, I really like that thing. Hidden Woodsman Classic Ruck. Obviously a tripod, I mean, for obvious reasons. TP, I know that's kind of cheating also, but I like being able to wipe my butt. Little cook set, PT shorts, gloves, Crocs. Again, Crocs are kind of cheating, but to be honest with you, since I'm bringing so little, I actually just needed something to fill up the rest of the space in the bag. And I figured if I'm bringing PT shorts, bringing Crocs might be nice if I'm going to be walking around in the water. So that's what that's for. Dog leash in case Jimbo loses his mind. Poncho, snug pack, sleeping bag, and Jimbo. In just a second here, I'll get into my Hidden Woodsman Possibles pouch, and then I will also get into what I'm carrying on my person. Alright, so in this pouch, I keep my Frontier emergency water filter straw. I love these things, and they're like $8. It's a no-brainer. I had the bug spray, Fatwood Firesteel's Fire Steel. Absolutely love that thing. Wallet, DMT sharpening stones. Have extra fine, fine, and coarse. Had to draw them on there because I would forget just by color or by feel. This heavy cover spork multi-tool. I've been wanting a titanium spork for so long now, and I got hooked up with this one. It is a phenomenal piece. I'm going to be using it, and I look forward to it. Obviously paracord. I carry neon paracord, which I think is the way to go. An extra tourniquet, extra little fire steel thing from Harbor Freight, just because. This is a VS-17 panel. I have a few of these left from when I was in the military. Everybody should carry a VS-17 panel regardless. If you have a pack on, have a VS-17 panel. This Extreme charger from Walmart, it's supposed to be waterproof, shockproof, and all that other stuff, and it's supposed to charge my phone up to 10 times. Got a little bit of Cowboys from Hell going on there so that I don't lose it. But if this does what it says it's going to do, it's going to be an excellent piece of kit. It costs like 30 bucks. Definitely need it for YouTube survival trips. And then for food, I brought one Cliff Bar, nut butter filled. Sounds delicious. Nut butter. Great. And 4 Jolly Ranchers. So, that's what I keep in the Possibles pouch. Alright, so here's what I'm carrying on my person. SOCP dagger, my SIG Government 1911 with VZ grips. This little SIG holster came with the pistol. I know that the way that I'm carrying it is a little bit goofy, but it's because I can't carry it the way I normally carry it with my pack and everything else on. And so I've actually got something to replace that in the works. It's gonna be awesome. But until then, all of you tactical guys, just bear with me. I'm just doing what I can with what I got. Rats tourniquet. Some antibiotic. That's actually going to go back into the Possibles pouch. But I just had it in my pocket because I forgot about it. But I have a cut on my foot that I really don't want to get infected while I'm out here. And then my Dry Creek Forge little custom knife that I got for my birthday. Along with this Positive Made Leathercraft sheath. So obviously the sheath holds an Altoids tin. I'm going to be poking a hole in this and using it for a char cloth at a later date, but not on this trip. I've got fishing weights, fishing line. What I did was I wanted a lot of strong line in a small space.
So I took 15-pound spider wire and spooled it onto my sewing bobbins, just like I would with sewing thread. Now I've got quite a bit of fishing line in 3 little bobbins. It was really easy to do. It's going to be easy to use. So I'm really happy with this setup. 3 different sizes of hooks. Also an extra baggie for when I do make char cloth and I want to keep it in here, but I don't want it to get wet, or whatever else I could find that I want to keep in here that I don't want to get wet. The sheath also holds an SE arrowhead. I think that I'm going to practice using this at another time for a trap. I'm a little bit excited about that concept. I won't be using it for arrows, obviously, and I think it's a little bit small for a spear. It's hard to show how small this thing is actually in pictures. I thought it was going to be bigger, but I mean, I have thin fingers. This is really small. But like I said, I think it would be great for a little spring trap. So I'm going to try that out. Now in the future, one thing that I do want to do is I do want to add one of those little Swiss Army knives, the really small cheap ones that everybody gets as a kid, because for fishing stuff, that would actually be very convenient to have those little scissors and whatnot. I think it'd fit perfectly in there. So eventually I'll do that and let you guys know what I think about that as well.
I want to give you a little warning, something that I should have thought of. I was walking around with my little hook and my little worm here, looking for a stick and looking for where I was going to hook it up. And Brainiac over there thought that I was carrying a treat around for him. And I almost caught my dog. So thank the Lord that that didn't happen. I almost had a heart attack. But hopefully he'll be alright. I don't think he really got hurt too bad. Just a little scratch or a little poke, hopefully. But anyways, keep that in mind. If you're out there adventuring with your little dog, that they might just think that you've got a treat for them and that they're going to take it. What I need to do now is I need to make up my mind whether I want to... What I should do is make a fish funnel, maybe right here, dam this area up, and try and funnel some fish in that I can get at my leisure. Or make a fish funnel over there and bait it. Or I can take a lazier approach, since that would actually be better in the long run, but a lot of work for 2 days. I could start actively fishing, or more importantly, going after crawfish. I know that there are going to be a lot of crawfish or crayfish out here, and that might be the best food source to go after, and it might be the most enjoyable as well. So I actually think that I'm going to do that. In the long run, that might not be the best decision, but for a 2-day, I think that that's going to be the way to go, especially in this heat. Alright guys, I've got my crawfish hunting suit on. Crocs and PT shorts, duh. So since I chose to go the crawdad crawfish route, it has already paid off, and I just found the mother lode. Check this out. I've only been crawfishing for a little while, but look at that. A lot of people know this Stanley cook pot set because it sells at Walmart and it's a good set. So you'll get a size comparison. That is a craw lobster. And I know where there are a ton more. I am going to eat like a king tonight. Holy crap. When you first look at a creek, you might not see anything. But if you just take your time and look closer, you'll see that there can be crawdads literally all over the place. There are so many crawdads in here that you can barely, you would think that you would step on them as you were walking. I mean, they're literally swimming all around my feet right now. But just remember that if they're little crawdads, they're big crawdads too. And I've caught some big ones. What are you doing, bud? Huh?
Alright guys, this might be a little bit difficult to do on camera, but here's how I catch them. I like to get behind them. Look, this is a big pretty one. And I like to position, it'll also be difficult to do with my left hand. I guess I should be doing it with my right hand here. There we go. I want to position myself so that I can slowly get my hand. Go, Jimbo. Get. No kisses. Slowly get my hand, my two fingers up above them, right behind where their pinchers are. And what I'm going to do, or try to do, is I'm going to try and quickly push down on their body from right behind where their pinchers are, and then grab them. Okay, so I'm pushing down on them, and I've got them. I hope you're able to see how I did that there. That is a good sized fish. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to disassemble my knife sheath so that I can wear it with these PTs comfortably. I'm going to go make a fishing stick and hopefully go catch something for tonight. Check it out. Alright, so since I'm just going to be wearing my PT shorts and a belt, I don't want any of the extra stuff on my sheath. So all I gotta do is take it apart and it'll be ready for some lightweight scout carry. There we go. Ready to rock and roll again. Alright, so now I have my whole kit ready to go, fishing kit and everything, while I'm in my PTs. So that's pretty handy. So to grab one of these nice long straight little trees here, obviously an axe would be ideal, and I have an axe at camp, but I'm walking around in PTs, and so the knife's going to have to do. So that's why it's nice to have a robust knife that allows you to make decisions like that if you need to. Let's get to work. Here's what I'm thinking of using. It's a little bit big for a knife, although, see, I think that this guy here is too dead. And I don't want to break a pole, lose a fish, and leave a hook in a fish's mouth. So we'll go through this guy. Now what would make this easiest would be a good baton. So let me see if I can't find one laying around.
So my cane fishing pole is complete, but now I think that I need to go get some tinder and firewood ready, because I don't want the fish sitting in the river with the chance of getting away while I go find tinder and stuff. It would definitely be better to be wearing my pants and shirt and boots for going around and getting tinder and stuff, and really I should have done that a long time ago. But it is what it is, and see if I can't make do. Lunch is cooking. Or dinner. Lunch, dinner is cooking. To cook these little crawdads up, you just want to get them boiling, and you're going to cook them until they're red like a lobster. Jimbo, are you tuckered out? Hey, bud. Are you tuckered out? Are you sleeping in your berry pile? Or your dig pile? You ready to eat a crawdad? Oh boy. Sassy little dog. So we've got them boiling. They're bright red like lobsters. I'll get ready to take them out here and start peeling them. So there we have Mr. Crawdad. Getting the head off is easy. You just, let me make sure, you just grab this section here and lift forward, and the whole head assembly
comes right off. Now, if you can get more meat than just the tail, I don't really know how to. So what I'm doing right now is basically, I've been trying to save as much meat as I can, but just removing the shell on the tail, and the tail is basically all I'm able to eat right now. Of course, when I get the video going, would be the difficult one. Come on. Usually when I pull these off, the little leg assemblies come off as well. There they go. There we go. Maybe now I can... See, that's usually what I get right there. So out of all of that crawdad, this is how much meat I get. Now I just realized when I was trying to feed Jimbo that if I break the tail section off, because that's what I was going to feed him. Let's see here. How did I go about this? There's a poop chute in here somewhere, and I took it off last time. It's probably the crunchy stuff that I'm tasting. Yeah, I'm just eating it. Jimbo, come here. Watch this. Hey, buddy, eat some. Oh, he eats it now that he's on camera. What a surprise. Is that good? He didn't eat it before. Oh yeah, he likes it. It is pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, lobster tail. Oh boy. What do you think, Bimbo? Alright, back up, clobber hobber.